Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Monday night, October the 3rd. And this is these are the charts of the day. I'm going to review some of the boxer shorts, but also I'm going to go over most of the popular ultra shorts that we look at as well, and that we've been monitoring and trading this week and last week. That's a couple weeks actually. Just to give an idea of where they're at and how overbought they may be, etc. BGZ is alphabetical. You can see I had the big pop, three-way pullback, bounced and retest, double bottomed around 37.5, and then exploded towards 50, backed off to 39, and then went vertical to 50, 67, up almost 10% today, up 439, and right up against this reaction high. So there may be some resistance here, but if indices continue to lower tomorrow, this thing could very well spike up to the 55, 58 zone, a short-term target. EDZ, obviously a lot better. The emerging markets triple bear with emerging markets falling. You can see the big spike up, the 1, 2, 3 wave decline, the pull back up, and then a retest here. This formed like little head and shoulders. It broke out, spiked up, and then pulled back hard for a couple of days when some of the others did as well, but held right there at the support and at the 21-day moving average, only to reverse from 26, go straight to 35 in about a 5-day period. We're at resistance at this prior high, but if we pop through tomorrow, we could very well spike this into the 40-42 range. Something to keep an eye on for tomorrow. ERY with the price of oil coming down, the energy triple bear is doing very well. It broke out here, taking out this declining tops line in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave declining pattern. But notice this rising bottoms line here and the wedge pattern that was broken. Breakaway gap, that gap was filled, retested the line and the 21-day moving average, and that held. And it moved from about 18.5 to 25, 26 today, closing right at the high for the day, going away. And since that is a takeout of the August high, we can very well see this extend, particularly if oil comes down hard tomorrow, up towards the 29 to 31 zone. FAZ with financial starting to roll over, we're seeing this spike up, but there is now 1, 2, 3 tops in this zone around 75. If we get through, we may very well see it quickly up towards 81. 80, 81 would be my short-term target. We'll have to see what happens with the market and the indices tomorrow, but we are up against resistance. However, again, if it gaps up or it takes this area out, I look for a quick 5 or 6 points. And then beyond that, I think of run and run and run. FXP, the ProShares Ultra Short China Index, really accelerating here. As you know, we had put the Yang out, not the FXP. I'll show you the Yang later because this is alphabetical. But they broke out hard and ran, stalled for a couple of days, and came down hard, tested the breakout point and the 21-day moving average like several of the indices have done, and then immediately run right back up from 37 to 48.5. This stock is now in a spike up blow off mode. Could very well get up to 50, 52, 53 or more, but it needs a rest here, as well as the market does in terms of downside. The SCO Pro Short crude oil, after we gave you a swing trade on this one, if you remember from this falling wedge, it popped from 52 to 68 and met our $66 target, then back down, filled the gap, and now spiked right back up again. The way I have it settled in, the channel looks like about potential move up towards the retest of the high around 71.5, 72 as early as tomorrow morning. But if it keeps going, we may very well see it into the mid-80s before not too long. Stay tuned. SMN, ProShares also short basic material. Also a similar pattern and a spike up and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way move. But notice the rising bottoms, declining tops in this wedge. That was broken with a big spike in volume, then a breakaway gap, an extension that took this stock from 19.5 to 27.75 before a quick pullback, retraced about 2/3 right to the 21, rebounded, and then spiked right up from about 22 up to 30 just in the last 5 days. Top of the channel says possibility exists, 33.5, 34 could be had, but keep an eye on that one tomorrow as well. Up next, TVIX, star of the ultra shorts in my opinion, which has gone from 15.5, 16 up to over 100. Now, when this stock was down here at flagging, I gave you a projection up around 90 to 100. And I'm not surprised we reached up here, but we are at the top of the channel. At this point, it could be a little bit, just a little bit overbought in the zone, and but we are also in spike up blow off mode, and we'll have to see whether we get this. Let me just erase that for you. May look a little cleaner. You can see the top of the channel. Now, if it backed off, it wouldn't surprise me. If it breaks through here and explodes into a blow-off top up to 120.25 or more, that wouldn't shock me either, especially if the market rolls over and tanks big time with a spike down on heavy volume. TZA also broke out today across that line. Is at maybe the top of a channel here. We'll have to see. But there's resistance up around 67.5 or so, which would be my target if the market spikes down tomorrow and that blows off. But I would be careful on any of these as they've come up substantially in the last 5-6 days and are way extended. VXX running like the TVIX, and right now the top, who knows where, it could be in the 60s or even low 70s. And lastly is the YANG, which I showed you before. We broke out, we pulled back hard to the 21-day, but then turned it around from 19.75 right to 29.35, almost a $10 run in the last 5 sessions, right up near the top of the channel on lateral price resistance. So this may be at a point where it needs to come down and retest. That is the ultra short review. And a quick review of some of my boxer short recommendations of late. FOSL, which ran up, double topped, and is now rolling over hard. Today came down 578 or 7%. When this low was broken here, these lows in here, and the line was taken out, I knew this thing would cascade lower, and I gave you a target in the 70-72 range. Well, we hit 75.28 today, down 578. INFA, another one of our box and short recommendations. After running up, then rolled over hard, bounced, has formed a wedge here. Today was down $1.49, 3.6%, but could fall apart, at least test a low around 36 short term here, or even cascade lower into the low 30s. Weight Watchers, it's finally rolling over. After coming down and forming a wedge here, it came down to make a low around the low 50s, and then bounced up towards 60. But today rolled over 269 or 4.6%. May very well see something near 50 again, if not in the mid to high 40s before it's over. SMG, with the big snapback after this big spike down, took it all the way back up to the declining tops line, 50-day moving average lateral price resistance. Came down and bounced, formed a wedge here that was broken right there. This wedge here. It then snapped back sharply to test that, and then fall away again down 84 cents or about 2% today. But that one looks like it could go lower depending on the market. A retest of the lows around 40 would not shock me. I'm kind of expecting it. Freeport McMoran really under pressure, under 30 today. And we showed you this a couple weeks ago when it was trading up in the 43, 44 zone. Here we are below 30. There is support down around the 28.5, 29 zone, so we may see this rebound shortly. UFS breaking this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave consolidation bear flag, excuse me. After breaking here and then cracking sharply to test support, it moved back up to test resistance and has rolled over sharply. As a matter of fact, down another 316 or 4.64% right to support. We crack here, we can cascade lower into the mid-50s very quickly. So stay tuned on UFS. That's a quick review of some of the boxes shorts we've recently recommended and some of the ultra shorts that we've been trading. Have a good evening.